Money has never been just paper, coins, or numbers in a bank account. At its core, money is a test of human nature. It reveals ambition, exposes weakness, magnifies discipline, and uncovers hidden desires. People spend their entire lives chasing it, worrying about it, and measuring themselves against it. Yet despite all that effort, very few ever truly understand how wealth works. Why? Because most people approach money from the perspective of a consumer, not a strategist. They see wealth as comfort rather than leverage. They see it as status rather than structure. They focus on spending it, displaying it, and protecting it instead of learning how to use it as a tool of influence. Machiavelli understood something that modern society often ignores. Money is not simply about possession. It's about control, and the habits that determine how you use money ultimately determine how much power it gives you. This isn't another conversation about budgeting apps, coupon hunting, or generic advice like spend less than you earn. This is about psychology. It's about developing habits so disciplined, so strategic, and so effective that wealth doesn't merely arrive, it grows, protects itself, and expands your influence over time. Let's begin with the first of 7 ruthless money habits Machiavelli would likely teach. Habits designed not only to help you build wealth, but to help you build power. Habit 1. Treat money as a weapon, not a comfort. Most people think money exists to make them feel secure. They view it as a safety blanket, a cushion against uncertainty, something that allows them to relax. But the Machiavellian perspective is very different. Money is not a pillow, it's a weapon. The moment you start treating money primarily as comfort, you begin using it to soothe yourself. You spend when you're stressed. You buy things to impress people. You upgrade your lifestyle to mask insecurity. You use wealth to create temporary feelings instead of lasting advantages. And that's where weakness begins. Comfort always demands maintenance. The bigger the lifestyle, the more dependent you become on preserving it. And once preserving comfort becomes your priority, you're willing to make compromises you never intended to make. Machiavelli would argue that money should serve a different purpose. It should increase your influence. It should expand your options. It should strengthen your position. Every dollar should function like a soldier in your army. Every income stream should operate like a fortress protecting your future. You don't waste soldiers in meaningless battles, and you don't waste resources on short-term satisfaction when they could be helping you win a much larger war. Think about the entrepreneur who builds a massive cash reserve. Most people assume he's preparing for luxury, but in reality, he's preparing for opportunity. When competitors panic during difficult times, he acquires assets. When others are forced to retreat, he advances. While everyone else is focused on survival, he's focused on expansion. His money isn't comfort, it's leverage. The key question becomes, are you using money to numb discomfort, or are you using it to increase your reach? Your answer reveals whether you're building wealth or simply decorating a financial prison. If this habit resonates with you, comment leverage below. Now let's move to the second habit. Habit 2. Hide your wealth, reveal your discipline. One of the biggest mistakes people make with money is believing that wealth needs an audience. Modern culture constantly encourages people to display success. Luxury cars, designer brands, expensive watches, massive houses. Everything becomes a performance. The assumption is simple. If people see your wealth, they'll respect you. But Machiavelli understood a dangerous truth. Visibility creates vulnerability. The more people know about your resources, the more attention you attract. Some will envy you. Some will resent you. Some will look for ways to benefit from you. And some will actively work against you. That's why the truly powerful rarely advertise their wealth. Instead, they advertise something far more valuable: discipline. The Machiavellian approach isn't about pretending to be poor. It's about refusing to make wealth your identity. Let people notice your patience. Let them notice your consistency. Let them notice your restraint. Because discipline sends a signal that luxury never can. Anyone can spend money. Very few people can control themselves, and self-control is intimidating. Imagine two successful individuals entering a negotiation. One arrives covered in symbols of success. The other appears surprisingly modest. At first glance, everyone assumes the flashy individual holds the power. The conversation begins, and suddenly it becomes obvious who controls the room. The person who can walk away, the person who doesn't need validation, the person who isn't emotionally attached to appearances. That person possesses real leverage. This is the essence of silent wealth. Own what you want. Build whatever empire you desire. Just don't feel compelled to announce it. The loud, wealthy person becomes a target. The quiet, wealthy person becomes a mystery. And mystery is often more powerful than visibility. If this habit changes the way you think about wealth, comment "silent power" below. Now let's move to the third habit. Habit 3. Build independence before income. Many ambitious people fall into the same trap. They spend years chasing income without ever asking a more important question. How dependent is that income? A high salary sounds impressive. A successful business sounds impressive. A large client sounds impressive. But what happens if someone else can remove those things? If another person controls your financial survival, then your freedom is limited. And Machiavelli viewed dependence as one of the greatest dangers a person could face. Poverty can be temporary. Dependence often becomes permanent, because once your survival depends entirely on someone else's decisions, you become predictable, you become cautious, you become easier to control. The ruthless habit is to prioritize independence before maximizing income. That means gradually building assets that continue working even when you're not. It means creating sources of value that nobody can simply switch off. It means developing skills that remain useful regardless of circumstances. This doesn't mean you should quit your job tomorrow. It doesn't mean rejecting existing systems. It means using those systems strategically while quietly building something stronger underneath them. While others rely entirely on one paycheck, you build multiple foundations. While others consume, you acquire ownership. While others seek security from employers, you seek security from assets. That might be investments. It might be equity. It might be intellectual property. It might be businesses that continue generating value long after the work is completed. The specific vehicle matters less than the principle. Independence creates power. Dependence creates vulnerability. The Machiavellian mind constantly asks, if this source disappeared tomorrow, would I still be standing? If the answer is no, then more work remains. Because true wealth is not measured by income. It's measured by how little permission you need to keep moving forward. If this habit changes the way you think about financial freedom, comment independence below. Now let's move to the fourth habit. Habit 4. Use money to reveal character. Money is one of the fastest ways to uncover who people really are. Words are easy. Promises are easy. Appearances are easy. But money has a way of exposing truths that conversations never will. Machiavelli understood this better than most. He knew that people's behavior changes when resources enter the picture. Success creates reactions. Opportunity creates reactions. Power creates reactions. And those reactions reveal character. Give someone influence over your finances. Watch how they behave. Offer someone an opportunity. Observe their response. Achieve a visible level of success. Pay attention to who celebrates and who secretly resents it. Because money doesn't transform people. It reveals them. That's why one of the most ruthless habits is learning to use money as a filter. Not simply as a resource, but as a diagnostic tool. Watch what happens when people gain advantages. Do they become grateful or entitled? Do they remain loyal or immediately begin calculating their own interests? These observations provide information that words never can, and information is power. Machiavelli believed clarity was more valuable than comfort. The worst mistake you can make is surrounding yourself with people whose loyalty disappears the moment circumstances change. Fortunately, money tends to reveal those people early. If you're paying attention, the goal isn't cruelty. The goal is understanding, because lasting wealth depends just as much on who surrounds you as it does on how much you earn. And before the stakes become too high, you need to know exactly who belongs inside your circle and who doesn't. If this habit changes the way you judge the people around you, comment character below. Now let's move to the fifth habit. Habit 5. Control access, not accumulation. Most people believe the goal of wealth is accumulation. More money, more assets, more possessions, more numbers on a screen. But Machiavelli would argue that accumulation is only the surface level of the game. The deeper game is access. There are people with significant wealth who still spend their lives chasing opportunities. And then there are people who control the opportunities themselves. The difference is enormous. Throughout history, rulers didn't become powerful simply because they possessed resources. They became powerful because they controlled who could access those resources. Kings distributed land. Nobles granted favors. Political leaders allocated positions. They understood a timeless principle. The person who controls distribution often becomes more powerful than the person who merely owns. The same pattern exists today. Investors provide capital. Business owners create jobs. Platform owners control audiences. Gatekeepers determine access. And because of that, people naturally move toward them. The ruthless habit is to stop thinking only about growing your wealth and start thinking about your position. Ask yourself, who depends on what I provide? What value do I control? What opportunities flow through me? Because true influence emerges when people benefit from staying connected to you. At that point, you're no longer competing for every opportunity. You're becoming the source of opportunities. And that changes everything. The person who controls access doesn't need to constantly prove their worth. They don't need to beg for attention. They don't need to chase approval. Others naturally seek their involvement. That's the shift. Stop measuring success purely by what you own. Start measuring success by the value you control and distribute. Because financial power grows strongest when people need access to what you provide.